How's it going, gents? Stand in the door, 1944. Today we're going to be going over our clear rifle bags used for amphibious landings. So as you can see in a lot of original photographs from Normandy and before, troopers were using clear rifle bags to protect their weapons from sand and water while landing on beaches. And so we wanted to go and do the most accurate representation that have been done on these. You'll find other replicas out there that are a green bag, which is an authentic bag. However, the earliest photos that you see of any green bags being used to protect weapons during amphibious landings weren't until Iwo Jima, all the way in February of 1945. In Normandy and everything prior, they were using the clear bags, so we wanted to do an accurate representation of those. So we copied these directly from an original. We copied the length and the width. The only real difference between the two is the material that they were made out of. So original bags were made out of a material called Pliofilm, which is made by the Goodyear tire company. And it being a tire company, it was rubber. It was a very, very thin, clear rubber bag. They don't make Pliofilm. They haven't made it in a long time. So going with clear plastic was our next best bet. These will fit M1 Grands, M1 Carbines, Thompsons, if you take the magazine out, even BARs, and 1919 machine guns. So next we're going to be going over the actual install of a bag on these because there's a little bit of a trick to it. So first you're going to want to make sure that your weapon is clear. Close up your action so if any sand or water does get in there, it doesn't gum up your gun. And second of all, start feeding it over the barrel of your weapon. Once it's all the way down, be sure and give yourself a good inch to 2 inches at the end of the rifle, because if you don't, whenever you roll the other end, if this pulls all the way to the end, you might actually puncture through the end of the bag. So we want to avoid that whenever possible. So you give yourself a good inch, 2 inches, kind of fold it to the side, flip it over, set it on the table, and before you go ahead and actually start rolling this thing, you're going to want to suck some of the air out. Otherwise, you're going to be holding on to basically a big inflated bag of air. So you want to go ahead and bunch this up here. Sucks the air out of that bag, roll it down, and then you can go ahead and secure that with some black engineer tape or white engineer tape, both of which would have been accurate for the time. I've also seen guys actually directly knot this bag. That's a technique as well. And then as you're holding the bag, you're not holding onto a giant balloon. So that's why we suck the air out of it. Specifically for guys that are taking part in great events like Ohio D-Day, where you're actually landing on the beach and running around in the sand, this is an absolute must to keep sand out of your weapons. If you look at original photographs, guys were keeping bags on their weapons all the way through the surf. But even whenever you get onto the sand, because although this is great for keeping out water, if you get sand in your weapon, it's not going to function. So particularly for units like Ohio D-Day, I really don't pull my rifle out of the bag until I get to the first or second row of hedgehogs, so that way I'm not gumming up my gun, and it's going to be ready to rock and roll for the rest of the event. So if you're taking part in any reenactments where you're doing any type of amphibious operations, or you're going to be working around sand and so forth, recreating a beach landing, this is going to be a great option for protecting your weapon and keeping it up and functioning.